5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We about to have a blast today.
Hello, all you happy people.
Let's do a junkie roll call.
Sound off like you got a pair.
The great Dadakuji.
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of?
She probably still got an old school TV.
Why do you say this to me?
I'm the only girl, so I wanted to do anything that my brothers were doing.
Oh, yeah, you blend. She's cute too, huh?
Indeed!
That's fine. Just give us a second.
She with you?
The film was just lazy. Like I said, they like vision.
But you got to have vision.
I'm a big JRPG person.
We've just lost half the audience.
Supposed to be full.
Oh, why?
But he'd have to be fast. I'm your man.
No, you're not. You're too slow.
It ain't just about being fast.
I did not see one Asian in that movie.
Let's not stand on ceremony here.
It's a business. Who cares about the people's feelings?
Aim for the bushes.
I could do this all day.
I got big boy pants on!
Happy Monday to you all out there in Junkie Land. This is Kenshiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live. It's Monday, and today we're going to be talking about that awesome Game of Thrones episode from last night. We're also going to be talking about the tragic death of Anton Yelchin, Chekhov from Star Trek, and we're also going to be talking about Spider-Man: Homecoming, which starts filming today. But the big news that we got today is that season 3 of The Flash's premiere episode has been titled, and it's going to be something that we really want to talk about. So we're going to speculate what's coming on with the Flash in the future. But first off, let's do a quick junkie roll call. Who's going to be on the show today? We got Big Kahuna. What's up, brother?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's up, Krusty? How you doing, girl?
Howdy.
And GQ in the place to be, man. What's going on, brother?
Oh, yeah, what's going on with Krusty over there with her Princess Leia buns?
I know, right? Yeah. So anyway, guys, today we're going to talk about Game of Thrones. Let's start off with that. How awesome was that episode last night? Game of Thrones. I mean, you had from the jump, you had action coming in. You had dragons. You had explosions. You had heads being chopped off. You had people's necks being, bitten off. I mean, man, it was just an incredible show. So, Krusty,
multiple prison style shankings.
Yes, indeed. So
satisfying.
Yeah, it sure was. So, Krusty, why don't you start off? What did you think of last night's episode?
I thought it was amazing. After like 3 episodes of just fillers and just it was refreshing.
Yeah, it really was refreshing. What did you think of Daenerys just pretty much just raining fire on the Masters and Marine?
I kind of expected it. That whole storyline, I was just like, I like that this is happening, but it's not really a surprise for me. The other things that happened, like Jon and Sansa, that was completely just like, yep, it was amazing. I can't really say anything.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you kind of can. I mean, it is.
I can. I have a lot to say, but it just blew me away.
Yeah.
And I'm sad that next episode is the season finale because I just wanted to go on forever.
Yeah, and then of course, next season is going to have reduced episodes, so I'm not really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Either, so, Kahuna, what'd you think of last night's episode, my friend?
Oh man, it was awesome. I mean, you guys know I don't really follow Game of Thrones, but I was hearing so much talk about it, I had to go watch it, and it was good, man. It was really good.
Specifically, what did you like so much about it? What was the best part to you?
I mean, it was just killings nonstop. That was awesome. I like the way old girl got the dragons and just started raining fire on everybody. What's little man's name?
Tyrion.
Tyrion, yeah, I like Tyrion's
little man.
Those little speeches that he was making while they were at out top while she was raining fire on everyone.
Dude, he does that all the time, man.
Man.
The freaking time.
Yeah, my favorite one was when he was like, what did he say? I drink. And he was like, what did he say? I drink and I know things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's Tyrion.
Yeah, from one of the previous episodes, but and then the end, the way old boy died. Woo!
Ooh, these sounds ain't loyal, brother.
Oh my God. like at first, I didn't even expect that. I didn't know Sansa had it in her. I thought she was like, oh, okay, but no, she's definitely not the pretty little Disney princess anymore. So I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, so when Megatron made that little quote, I didn't get it because I didn't see the episode yet.
Right.
When I got to that scene, I was like, "Oh shit, this is what he was talking about."
Exactly.
That shit was out cold.
Yeah, it was. So let's go. Let's real quick. Let's jump to some of the finer points of the episode. First of all, I mean, I have to
You know
tell
what?
you.
What?
Yeah,
I had a
go
question.
ahead.
Since I don't follow it, who was the cast that came to Jon Snow's rescue?
Oh, those would be the Knights of Vale. Of the Knights of the Vale. They are affiliated with Littlefinger, one of the sneakiest bastards in all of Westeros. I have to tell you. And
Was that the dude was that the dude next to Sansa that was like had that little smart ass smile on his face?
Yes. If when you watch Game of Thrones, you'll like and simultaneously hate that guy. I mean, he is. I mean, he is that guy. If you don't like, underhanded, sneaky, conniving, Machiavellian dudes, you're really gonna hate that guy. But
you know what? When I saw the actor that was, playing him, that dude always plays those roles in whatever movie he's in.
Yes, he does.
So,
yes, he does.
That's a good casting for that.
Yeah, it is. And going back, I have to tell you that without a doubt, my favorite character in the entire show is Daenerys Targaryen. Oh, my baby showed up last night. Oh man, I mean, she was just giving it to everybody, man. It was just like she came down and just laid down the law. Master showed up and was like, "Oh, we're here to discuss the terms of your surrender." She was like, "No, you misunderstand. We're here to discuss your surrender, not ours." And then she
was like, "Bitch, where?"
Right.
Yeah, she was like, perhaps he wasn't clear.
Yeah. Perhaps let me make myself clear. Then my dragon's gonna come up here. I'm gonna hop on him, and I'm about to destroy most of your ships. And yeah, that's that. So I mean, man, I thought that the effects in that episode probably were some of the best I've seen for the entire series. What do you think, Krusty?
Best of the entire series. I still think the Red Wedding still kind of, it still rings out as one of the best.
Wait.
I think this episode.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, how can you say the Red Wedding had the best effects when the Red Wedding was just nothing but?
I didn't know you said effects. I think you said the best episode.
The
best effects. Yeah, you had all three dragons flying around. You had the one with the ships. Yeah, I think they are lessening their episodes for next season because they blew their way over their
effects budget.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Really pretty.
That makes sense. Yeah. And then you go to the Battle of the Bastards. You have Ramsay Bolton versus Jon Snow. And Ramsay is I don't know if you were watching a little bit, Kahuna, but you don't know about Ramsay. Ramsay is a sadistic bastard. I mean, really,
dude,
man. I mean that.
This is the first time I've ever seen him, and I didn't like him already.
Dude, that is nothing. Literally, that is nothing from what we've seen before. That dude is absolutely the worst. So seeing him go out the way, going out the way that he did, honestly, I wanted Sansa to do more to that guy. The Bolton crest is a guy hung upside down and flayed.
Yeah.
Yes. And burned on fire. And that's what those effigies were that you saw in the battlefield. Those were fresh bodies that they just skinned and set on fire. So that's their thing. But that whole battle was pretty awesome, I have to admit. I mean, it was just dirty, it was grimy, it was bloody, heads flying everywhere, people, like you said, being shivved, arrows flying everywhere. It was
over everybody.
Horses trampling people. It was just great. And then to see Sansa at the end, I mean, we've seen this as an evolution of Sansa. I absolutely hated her when the show started. I thought she was.
So she was evil.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't evil. She was a brat I mean, a complete brat.
Hmm.
And to see what she is now, she's hardened, she's tough, she makes really good decisions as far as like very sound and practical decisions. She's becoming more actually like her mother. Wouldn't you say, Krusty?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's becoming a lot like her mother, the late Catelyn Stark. And I loved Catelyn Stark from the beginning. So if she
God, I
becomes,
hated her so much.
did you really, did you
I hate
really?
because she was the one who always fucked everything up. She's like, I know what's best for everyone, and then she'll
Hmm.
just completely just ruin everything. I'm like, why are you here?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
She
but
was.
Sansa is a lot better.
Sasa is a lot better. I have to admit, I
Mhm.
like her now. She's still no Arya to me. Arya is still my favorite.
Mhm.
But she's growing. She's growing on me. So anyway,
Mhm.
guys, we've kind of left GQ out in the cold. He doesn't really watch Game of Thrones. So let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is going to be
You didn't leave me out in the cold. You basically, and I want to say what's up to Anthony Mentor and Jelani Briggs in the chat. Also, looks like Angel. Let me see her name once more. Angel O'Gwen is giving us a little sad face, probably because you guys are talking about Game of Thrones and all the deaths.
oh,
However, all the deaths on the battlefield, whatever. For all you guys, that was great TV. For me, that was Tuesday.
and there it is, and there it is.
Why?
You expected no less, right? Right? Nobody expected anything less, did they? Did they? Not from that
Chris?
guy. Yeah,
Oh
not
no.
from that guy. Yeah, all right. So anyway,
Oh,
unfortunately, we also have to talk a little bit briefly about the passing of Anton Yelkin last night. A complete freak accident has robbed Hollywood of one of the brighter young talents. Dude was only 27 years old. He had a lot of career ahead of him. I mean, he had, according to IMDb, when GQ was doing the rundown of the stuff that he's been in already, he's had quite the career, and it's been it's been varied. He's been in a lot of stuff. GQ, name off some of the stuff that my man has been in.
I mean, he was in Along Came a Spider with Ashley Judd and Morgan
Morgan
Freeman.
Freeman.
He was in a movie with Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins, called Hearts. I forgot the exact title. I'd have to look that up again. He was also in Alpha Dog.
That
People
was
may
with
remember him as Kyle Reese
Justin
from
Timberlake.
Terminator.
Wasn't that Justin
Yeah,
Timberlake? Yeah. Okay.
that was Justin Timberlake. He was
Uh-huh.
also in Terminator Salvation as Kyle Reese. Obviously, everybody remembers him as Chekhov from the Star Trek reboots. And apparently, this last Star Trek reboot that's coming out, I think, will be his last film because I don't remember if he had anything in pre-production
Man, he
when
played the hell out of Chekhov
started.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
he
I
did.
loved him as
Yeah,
Chekhov,
so I
man.
mean, it's
there was an article I just saw earlier that said he was in production of 5 other movies, and they're all going to still be released within a minute.
Okay.
well,
So
there
not
you
just
go
Star
then.
Trek.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
well,
Well,
there you go. I mean, the
you know it.
dude had work.
Yeah, he did, and I think some of the details came out that the Jeep he was driving was actually part of a recall, uh, where I guess the gears didn't properly set when you would shift, and I guess for some reason he got out of his car and the gear shift didn't lock into place, and all of a sudden the car rolled up on him and trapped him between the car and the security gate, and basically just crushed him to death, which is a terrible way to go, an absolutely terrible way to go. What were some of your, who else has watched a lot of Anton Yelkin movies that you've seen? He was also in. Did you mention Fright Night, GQ? He was also in that. Did anybody
Yeah, he
see
was in
that?
Fright Night as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. What
Yeah,
you?
I remember him in that. I remember him in Long Came a Spider. What else? I remember him in a few movies.
Yeah. What did you think of him as an actor, uh, overall? Anybody? Anybody? What did you think of
Oh,
him as an actor?
I think he was a good actor, man. I liked him, and like I said, especially with Chekhov, man, he played the hell out that role.
That he did.
Yeah, he really did. Yeah.
Yeah, he was also in Smurfs. Obviously, the voice. Used to do the Criminal Minds TV show.
Really?
I'm trying to look for the name of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, trying to look for the name of the. Oh, here it is. It's Hearts in Atlantis with Sir Anthony Hopkins. That's what he was in. So, I mean, the kid did a lot. in the short period of time that he had been acting. So, and he's worked with some of the heavyweights in Hollywood. So, I mean, it's like, if you're gonna learn, you got to learn from the best. And
Yeah, he has. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
No, he has. What Krusty was saying. He has post production. He has a movie called Rememory. He has We Don't Belong Here, which is completed. Star Trek Beyond, of course, post production. Another movie called Portal, which is completed, and another movie in post production called Thoroughbred.
Wait, hold up. Portal, as in like Portal, that the video
No,
game?
no, Porto.
Oh, Porto. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Also in the chat, we got Sam Champion chiming in, saying let's see, a movie called Charlie Bartlett was a good movie.
Right.
And that was a great up and coming actor. So, and Anthony Minter is also saying it's sad to see good actor, sad that we get to see what would have didn't really get to see what would have been.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, Anthony. Indeed.
Crazy,
Indeed. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
2016 is
Man.
dude. When they do that thing at the end of the year for everybody that passed in 2016,
That's gonna be the whole damn show.
That boy gonna be long, bro.
They're gonna have to use the entire show, because I mean, if you look back at this week, we've got we've lost probably 4 people or so. 4 fairly famous people within this past week. So it's just
2016 has become an entity.
Yep.
So
made it to July yet.
I know, right? I mean, the year isn't barely halfway over, and we've already had so many prominent deaths go on. So let's move on. We also got to talk about Spider-Man: Homecoming actually started filming today. Today was the first day on the set, and it was like a baton exchange between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Spider-Man: Homecoming. I guess they're on the same lot, and Guardians of the Galaxy just finished filming, and Spider-Man is starting to film. And also there was the news that that they've added a lot of young actors. Hannibal Buress has also been announced as being part of the cast as of today. Who do we think Hannibal Buress could possibly be playing?
I have no idea. I hope it's somebody like crazy and outlandish.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something super hilarious because he's always just amazing.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that maybe he might be playing like one of Peter's teachers in school or something like that. Maybe the principal or some along those lines. Now, what
Hannibal Buress?
Hannibal Buress is the comedian that broke the whole Bill Cosby thing. It kind of started the whole downfall of Bill Cosby.
Yeah,
he's another comedian who's known for saying some like crazy shit.
Mm-hmm. But this one turned out to be too.
Comedy.
Right. His turned out to actually be, kind of true. So there's that. But what would you rate your anticipation level based off of Tom Holland's performance as Spider-Man in Civil War? What would you rate your anticipation level for Spider-Man: Homecoming when it's all said and done?
Oh man, I can't wait for it. Actually, man, like, he did such a bang up job for Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
looking forward to. Have you seen they got some leaked set photos from the set today? And
really,
I'm like, damn, first damn day, and it's already freaking photos on the web about it. But Zendaya, man, she looks like extra young in this picture in these pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Like younger than she actually looks. So I mean, I'm trying to think of like what is her role going to be? Like she's even dressed kind of like homely looking. Like I don't know.
Krusty,
they're in high school, right?
Yeah, they're in high school. Yeah, they're in high school. Yeah, and actually, Hand of Omega brought up a good point. Donald Glover is also going to be in the cast. He who campaigned very, very heavily to be Spider-Man back, I think back in the Andrew Garfield days. I think
Gambino.
Right? Yeah, Childish Gambino himself. He could be. They're saying that he might be Miles Morales. I guess based on the fact that he played Miles in the Ultimate Spider-Man TV series or cartoon show. I don't really see that. There's Hannah Omega saying that Robbie Robertson might be a possibility. The son of old Robbie in the that works at the Daily Bugle, Jonah Jameson's right hand man. Um, hmm. I don't know. I don't know if that's who's going to play. It sounds like to me like I've heard there's a couple of rumors in the chat on YouTube saying that maybe he might be playing Flash Thompson. I don't see that. I think they do someone younger for that role, definitely. To be Flash.
Yeah, I can't see him
Yeah,
playing
I can.
Flash Thompson.
Yeah, me either. Krusty, you,
Yeah.
you're not. I mean, you seem to roll with DC more than Marvel, but you saw Civil War. What did you think of Tom Holland as Spider-Man, and are you really anticipating Spider-Man: Homecoming when it comes out?
Well, I know more about Marvel than DC, but this Spider-Man, I don't really know anything about it. I'm guessing that guy you just named was the director.
No, Tom Holland is who's
Oh.
playing Peter Parker.
Oh, well, see, look at that. I don't know anything about him. He did okay in Civil War, but all he did was like make a few jokes, which I remember from when I was younger. So that's it. I suck.
She's such a wealth of information, people. She's such a she's such a wealth of information. So anyway, we're gonna move on to the main topic of the day. But first of all, I wanted to just like GQ says, I want to say hi to everybody that's in the chat, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on YouTube. I want you to hit us up right here with the hashtag Junkies Talk to join the show. You hit us with this message, and we'll go ahead and message you and tell you how you can be on the show and join us live, have your voice heard, give your 2 cents, and interact with all of us while we're talking. But today, the big news that kind of dropped today on Twitter from the Flash, from Barry Allen himself, Grant Gustin, was that the season 3 premiere of the Flash this fall is going to be titled Flashpoint. Now, obviously, that is going to be titled Flashpoint infers that the big DC crossover that brought about the New 52 is going to be coming to the CW. And so I would like to spend a little bit of time with everybody here to talk about what does that mean for the CW shows, and how are they going to integrate Supergirl into moving forward, and what changes are going to happen, whether that means some people are going to die, some people that have died might be coming back. So I think it's a pretty interesting topic to actually kind of talk about. So first of all, GQ, what do you think about Flashpoint coming to the CW? I mean, we kind of knew that it was probably heading in this direction based off of the way things progressed with the Flash last season. We all know Flashpoint. We watched the Flashpoint Paradox. What do you think we're going to see happen this season with the Flash coming up? Now that we know Flashpoint is definitely coming.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where things go from here. It's kind of ironic and silly that Barry finally got the girl that he wanted, and then he's going to go back and erase that moment. So it's like, well, what was the point of hooking up with Iris? Didn't even have her yet, and then you reverse it all. So I don't know. I'm going to get given yes, his dad died, so that was his main catalyst for doing so. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see where they go with it. The sad part of it is just the fact that DC does so well on TV with the Flash, but they can't do anything worthwhile in the films, in the movies. So it's just, we'll see where they go with it. I'm sure with them having access to Supergirl and by proxy Superman, Arrow, of course, and then Legends of Tomorrow, and then of course the Flash itself. I think they'll be able to do some interesting crossover episodes. The narrative better be very, very strong though, because the problem is going to arise of you got all these characters crossing into Flash and doing things and interacting and whatnot, but then you get back to the shows that they're actually on. It's like, well, how does that story carry over?
Exactly.
How is it affecting things that are going on? And obviously, we're probably not going to get a Batman, which is going to suck. So I don't know. Again, I'm going to enjoy it more than likely, but I don't know. Flash is their strongest show, so we'll just have to see how it goes.
Oh, okay. Kuna, you got a comment?
I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Don't really know what to expect because like the TV shows, they always take their liberties with stuff and they kind of change things around a little bit. I do get the feeling that's how they're going to bring Supergirl into the universe now, being that she wasn't part of the universe before in the crossover. Hopefully the Flashpoint paradox will make Arrow better.
Yeah,
That'll be one of the effects that the show will improve.
definitely. I know for me, what I'm looking forward to is one of the things I think would be pretty interesting, right? Was I'm sure they'll spend some time on just the Flash's show, uh, seeing the repercussions of Barry going back in time and doing what he did. They might spend 1 or 2 episodes. What I think would be even more awesome is if actually the entire season of all the shows started out with the Flash being on there, like as far as like it started the whole crossover. Like I think it would be pretty weird to start it off with Supergirl, obviously on Monday. Um, that would be pretty strange to see. But what I want to see, I want to see the effects carry over to every single show, uh, not just the Flash. Because if it starts with the Flash, then obviously the Flash is the catalyst for all of this. So he's going to, uh, it's going to carry over to all the other shows. Now, I'm wondering exactly who is going to die, who's going to return. We know that Laurel Lance was someone that died last year. Obviously, Flashpoint could be a vehicle for her to bring to bring her back. The same thing for Henry Allen. He could come back. Nora Allen is now alive. Will she stay alive? Who knows? She might. Joe could end up being the one that dies. Iris could be the one that dies. I mean, there's so many possibilities that could happen because of this. And also, GQ. I mean, this. I mean, I want to ask you this: what do you think they would do if they could maybe depict a Flashpoint-like world where there were metahumans, but because there was no Flash, um, the world turned darker, and like maybe Supergirl was around and she's like evil or something like that because she wasn't found by Superman and wasn't found by the Danvers, or there was no Superman because Kal-El never made it. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's something that they could touch on, but the problem is, unless all the writers, all 19 of them from Supergirl, and then the other ones from the other shows, unless all of the writers are on the same page, really working together for that big overarching season, like, busting, storyline that's going to carry through all those different shows, it's not going to work. Because the problem is you're going to run into is Supergirl's trying to have its legs with, the way they ended their season. And then Arrow's got its thing going on with people dying and Oliver crying about this or, trying to turn into half of a Batman. And then Legends of Tomorrow is a time travel show. So it's like, it's going to be very difficult, I think, for them to like have a thread that runs through all 4 shows. I don't think they're going to do it. I think it's really going to be Flash centric, and then you're going to see some effects on some of those other shows here and there. But I mean, the way these networks work, they're not going to basically scrap everything that they were going to do for whatever seasons. For example, Arrows, I think season 5 now or 4 or whatever, 5. Obviously, Supergirl's in season 2, which is they got
it's going to 5.
Life. Yeah, so like Arrow. I'm sorry, not Arrow, but Supergirl's got a new lease on life with season 2 being on the CW. So they probably have some plans and things that they'd like to do. Flash already, of course, is what it is, and then Legends of Tomorrow, got greenlit for a 2nd season, so they probably already had some plans and stuff that they would like to try. So I don't think you're going to really get that. Unfortunately, you're not going to get that big, thread throughout all 4 shows because it's just. I don't think it's just something that they want to invest in because again, all these other people already got ideas for their own separate shows. Anthony Mentor in the chat is saying that he hopes that there's a great story arc in Flashpoint and hopefully they can make Supergirl possible in this universe. Also, Tim Schultz is saying Grant, who plays Barry, said that he's read all the comics and watched the Flashpoint movie, and that what they're going to do is make Flashpoint their own thing. which would make Supergirl possible. So I mean, there's a lot of I was chatter and talk about it, and again, because of the Flashpoint movie and of course the Flashpoint storyline, there's a lot of things that we're going to obviously see influences, but it's already been said, you never do a one-to-one direct adaptation of anything from a comic book because otherwise people already know what's going to happen.
Exactly. One of my things, I think, you were saying the absence of a Batman figure. Seeing as how the Thomas Wayne Batman was fairly prominent in Flashpoint, I see them shoehorning Oliver Queen into that role because he's the most like Batman in the series. But we got a call in right now. Fallen Marvel is getting ready to call into the show, so we're gonna get ready to get him, have him join us and talk. What's going on, Fallen Marvel? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. What's up, guys?
Hey, not too much. Good to hear from you, man.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Well, just to touch on as far as with with the look forward and Flashpoint, I mean, it's pretty much like Ken has been saying. I'm so much open to date that they can touch on with the Flashpoint. It's just like anything and everything can happen, whether or not it'll stick, who knows. My overall take on it, I mean, obviously it's probably going to be a really good way to kind of segue, the Supergirl universe in there, whether they're going to make that universe actually concurrent with everything else. I don't know if they're going to keep it separate or if they're going to merge this universe somehow. I don't know, but like it'd be interesting to see what happens there. Whatever happens to parents, that's still like over, it's a whole lot they can do with that. As far as like the Arrow thing, I could see some changes happening with that. Probably overall story-wise, like it's probably not going to change that much once things do get fixed. Other than probably Laurel coming back, I could probably see Laurel coming back because it's kind of weird to have like Green Arrow and no Black Canary. Kind of weird.
Yeah.
So, I think like overall, I like the whole Batman thing. First of all, I already know that's not going to happen because I just for the straight on. Gotham pretty much being on Fox, and I don't know if like whatever is going on that they can't use that particular property in here because essentially they pretty much made Oliver Queen that world Batman essentially. I mean, the only other thing is that they subtly mentioned that there is a possibility there is a Bruce.
You break it up there.
More than likely, they'll never touch on that. So, like, I wouldn't even hold my breath as far as they even include the Waynes or anything regarding that for the villains. So that's pretty much all I got as far as that goes. So, other than that, as far as like the Spider-Man movie goes, like I'm 100% like looking forward to that all the way. Like Tom knocked it out of the park for me for the time he got. Instantly, he was my favorite. He was instantly the best Spider-Man in my opinion for the little time that they gave him. Like he literally embodied everything that I have seen Spider-Man to be ever since the '90s cartoon, even though he's younger. So I have no doubt that Spider-Man Homecoming is going to be great. So that's pretty much what I got for it.
Okay. Well, anybody got any questions for Fallen Marvel before we let them get back to the chat?
No, nothing that I can think of. I mean, I agree with a lot of the points that he's made. It's very unfortunate that Fox does, essentially have that lockdown on Batman. Before it was Nolan that had the lockdown on Batman, that DC couldn't use their own most popular character. So it's kind of sucks now that yes, it's happening yet again, and they've got this great opportunity with all 4 shows being on the same network, and Batman, of course, is not there. So we'll see how it goes, though.
Yeah, I think like the sad thing about it too is that the opportunity they did have is like they had an opportunity to do it back when Smallville was on and they never did it. I really hate that.
Nolan basically locked him out of
it. Of course they did.
Yeah, which is to me, it's like, look, I understand that he did a great job with Batman and brought a sense of realism and blah blah blah. That's great, and made it over $1 billion with Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Of course.
Excuse me, respectively. But I still don't think any studio should ever give any one director that much control over what you do with properties that you've owned for decades. And I don't know, that's always just been my take on it.
Yeah, well, pretty much evident with the demotion of Zack Snyder. So, I mean, of course, that's a whole discussion for another time, but still.
Indeed it is.
Yeah,
Indeed
exactly.
it is. Well, Fallen Marvel, thank you for joining the show, man. We'll talk to you later.
Of course.
All
See you
right,
later,
take
guys.
care, man.
Yep, take it easy.
All right, we want to thank Fallen Marvel for joining the show. If you guys want to join the show, you can also just hit us up with the hashtag Junkies Talk either on Twitter or on Facebook. We'll be monitoring the chats, and we'll get you into the show just like we got him into the show. Now, obviously, you know, like he was saying, you know, he could see Laura Lance talking coming back, just like I said. Do you guys think that they'll use this opportunity maybe to revolutionize the CW DC universe? And what I mean by that is they could take this opportunity to basically reshape the narrative of all the shows, right? Because that's the power that the time traveling powers of the Flash has. They can just wipe the slate clean and lay down some new groundwork of some plot threads that, and get rid of some plot threads that also weren't working very well. Like, for instance, they could remove the whole Barry went to live with the Wests, and he and Iris were kind of like brother and sister siblings. They could remove that whole aspect and have Barry and her be just regular romantic rival or romantic interests. They could restore. Let's see. They could obviously restore Lauren Lance to life. They could bring who else died? What else? What other thing kind of tripped? Oh, they could bring Amanda Waller back. They can bring Amanda Waller back if they wanted.
They could bring Eobard Thawne back to life.
Yep, they could. They could restore a lot of things and just basically reset the. They could bring Eddie Thawne back if they wanted. Even though I kind of doubt that would happen. But there's so many things that they could do with this. Any other speculations of where they could possibly go with this, and what would you like to see them do if they were to do anything? Kahuna, start with you.
I can't even think of nothing really specific, man. I mean, everything you guys said is what came to mind. And you know, the Flash TV show always like to have that huge twist.
Mm-hmm.
So ain't no telling what that's gonna be. With mixing Flashpoint with that, and you know, we got Supergirl in there now, man. The twist could be just something crazy. I don't know. Everything that came to mind, you guys pretty much already nailed.
Mm-hmm. What about you, GQ? Anything you'd like to see them try and do and address to get rid of possibly that you're not really feeling in any of these shows?
I want Barry to have more of a backbone. I want, like, now that he's already, you know, tapped into the Speed Force, obviously Flashpoint, it affects everyone around him because he's basically the man that stepped out of time now. I want him to learn from basically, you know, Reverse Flash getting the better of him, Zoom getting the better of him, to like, look, I can't, you know, look, I'm fast, that's great, but I can't be as lackadaisical as I've been with all these, you know, meta-human villains as I've been in the past. It's like, dude, just get down to business, right, straight up. It's like you've had 2 time travel events and now a third to, like, you know, toughen up. So
I think he kind of started showing that towards the end.
Yeah, but I really want him to do it. I mean, I want him to be damn near like Batman level.
See, I don't think.
Oh, come on, man! I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen just because they gotta have that CW drama.
I understand. No. I'm not saying taking it. I'm talking about with approaching it with the level of seriousness. I'm not saying, like, you know, to the point of how Bruce is dark, grim, and like he's, you know, 100 steps ahead of everybody. That's not the Flash. But what I'm saying is, in the sense of, like, for example, with Zoom, you slapped a leg cuff on him, and it's like, you know, this dude's better than you at using the same powers you have. You know he can phase through stuff, and yet you're sitting there talking before you get him into the prison that, you know, can hold him. So stuff like, I want to see less stuff like that, because those are rookie mistakes. It's like, dude, you're not a rookie anymore,
right?
And now that you've been in the Speed Force, like, let's be real. You should be a heck of a lot smarter than he has been acting in the show up to this point. And all that, Flash is supposed to be smart. That's part of him. You know, he can think, you know, at light speed, so to speak. So let's see a little bit more of that.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. Because in the show, he's smart as hell as a forensic science, but then he slaps on that damn Flash suit,
He
You don't
turns
know what
dumb.
the fuck going on.
Yeah, it's like he has to rely on the team to come up with all the solutions for him. Now, I mean, that's
And like I
this.
said,
No,
I was just gonna say, like I said, I think that's part of the whole
CW formula.
CW thing, and you know how
Mm-hmm.
how they need to create that drama and that little
Exactly.
bit of emotion and shit like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Yeah, they've got to give the bit players something to do as well. I mean, hell, Cisco would be basically useless if he didn't have to come up with a whole bunch of inventions for Barry to use or anything like that. Same thing for Wells. Same thing for Caitlin Snow.
Yeah,
But
because if Flash was on Netflix, it'd be a completely different
oh, no
different
doubt,
tone.
no doubt. Now, I do agree with GQ that the Flash needs to exhibit some more smarts and stop making a lot of these rookie mistakes. And the other thing that I think that Megashawn always will bring up is that the Flash is always never the fastest man alive on his own show. He's never. He needs to stop that. Just stop with the whole fastest man alive thing, because obviously that ain't the case. For
Well,
real.
there was one. Remember, there was one. I think it was the begin. Might have been the first episode. I think when he first found out about Reverse Flash
Mm-hmm.
in the intro, where he said, what he said. He said either I thought I was the fastest man alive, or
Mm-hmm.
I used to be. He changed it like one time.
One
I
time,
was
yeah.
waiting for that. I
He
was
said
waiting
it,
for
yeah.
them to change that when during the Zoom storyline, but they never changed it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think Zoom was supposed to be a lot darker and more of a threat. So it's like you couldn't really joke about it. Like at least with the Reverse Flash thing, he's like, hey, I thought I was the fastest man alive. Apparently, that's not the case. I think with Reverse Flash, it was still kind of he was still learning. He was still trying to come into his own. But Zoom was the took it to him. Like Reverse Flash was like taunting him and doing things and wanted him to build up his speed, and Wells is working in the background there. Zoom beat his ass.
His cat caught his fucking cat caught his lightning bolt.
Yeah,
Threw
right.
it back at him,
Right, and showed him up in front of the whole city.
Yep.
So I think it was
That
just
was
one of
boss.
those things where it's like, I think it was just one of those things where it's like, dude, hey, it's not even about the jokes or anything. That's why, like I said, when he finally caught him and was talking trash, I'm like, dude, you haven't done anything yet, because this dude is he's already proved he's 10 times better than you.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you sitting there talking trash? You got an ankle lock on him real quick,
Right.
ankle bracelet. So I mean, that's why, like I said, in this next season, I want to see more of confident, serious Barry. Like the way he was starting to get a little bit when he was like, look, dude, I got to take Zoom out. Period. When he was like that, he needs to be like that a little bit more often, because otherwise, dude, it's like you're not Spider-Man. You don't get to do the wise, the cracking jokes and whatnot while you're doing the fights. Like that's a whole different hero. Like you got to be better.
Yes, he most definitely has to be better. I mean,
But
he's
in
a
the
seasoned
comics and stuff,
superhero.
isn't he a smart ass in the comics though?
No.
And in the cartoons, I thought Flash used to make.
Well, see, in the cartoons, that's different. In the cartoon, see, Wally West in the comics, yes, he was a smartass, but that was because he was Kid Flash, and that's kind of the way he was since he started being a superhero. Barry Allen was never a wisecracking guy. He was fast. I mean, he was serious, but he wasn't a wisecracker. And he was confident in his abilities. In fact, he would actively test his own limits on his own to see exactly what he could do with his powers. That's something that we don't see this Barry ever doing. It's always being prompted by Dr. Wells or by Cisco or by Caitlin. I'm flabbergasted that this guy doesn't take the time to say, okay, hey, I may be the most powerful metahuman that's currently on this earth. Let me see exactly what I can do instead of just relying on pure speed. Let me see exactly how I can, run. Can I phase through the walls? Can I vibrate my molecules at a different speed so bullets just go right through me or whatever? If you want to do such a thing. Just stuff like that.
All his little special powers that he's been gaining, he's
all his flashbacks that they used to bring up all the time. I mean, that would be pretty cool to have them work those in. That would be pretty sweet.
The other thing about that though is like what you get from that, or the closest thing you got to that was him, disguising his voice, or like doing the shift thing with his face in the first season. That was the closest you got to him finding other things that he could do with his abilities on his own. other than that, like you said, the whole team was pretty much the ones saying, hey, you could do this or you could do that. And again, it goes back to the TV formula of you gotta give them something to do.
All right.
So
Speaking of giving someone something to do, Tim Schultz in the chat on Facebook brought up a pretty good point. We obviously didn't see Wally West become Kid Flash this season, but he says with Flashpoint they could make him Kid Flash just moving forward, like saying that, you know, maybe since Barry went back in time or whatever, maybe he becomes the Flash, and when Barry returns back to the present day, he doesn't have the powers anymore like it was in Flashpoint or whatever. So it could be pretty interesting. You know, I want to see how they work that whole thing in. The other thing I guess we can talk about too is how are they going to integrate Superman into this whole thing with Supergirl being on the show. Obviously, Superman has been cast. He's the dude from Teen Wolf, I think. Right, Kahuna?
Yeah, he's a good actor, man. I liked him in Teen Wolf, so
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it looks like we're going to get more than just, you know, see him flying by, or it looks like we're actually going to get him maybe, you know, speaking role now.
Mm-hmm.
Since
That'd
they,
be something.
since they cast him.
And now, if
yeah, right. It's a red herring. It's a red herring, just like the red boots at the end of the. Man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's again. I hope this dude does get some time in the tights and cape and everything. Honestly, Tom Welling would have been my better choice in my opinion.
Yeah, mine too.
But I mean, obviously, you know, who knows? He was probably busy or had other things going. But they can't. Here's where I think their problem is going to come. And true enough, yes, they're saying that the DCTV and DC cinematic is completely separate. If this guy knocks it out of the park as Superman, the real Superman that everybody knows and loves,
spinoff,
they're gonna have a really serious problem on their hands.
Oh
yeah. It's like, because think about it, if he plays not Christopher, because again, Christopher Reeve, as Daikuji has said, it was a whole different era, and it's kind of cheesy now. So if he plays like a balance of like the cartoon Superman, like from Justice League, and does it well, I'm gonna be like, dude, Cavill, I'm sorry, they screwed you over. Snyder really screwed him over, because if this guy comes in and fills that role and plays it the way that, you know, everybody knows Superman is supposed to be, dude, this is gonna suck, you know, for the movies in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would like to see where they're gonna go with Supergirl after Flashpoint is over. I mean, I know the show narratively was kind of weak when it was on CBS. Now that it's on the CW, and is going to be tied a little bit closer to the other DC TV shows, and with Flashpoint, obviously, I think they're going to make it so they're all residing on one world. I think that's going to be really, really interesting. I mean, and now that Superman has been cast, will he cross over into the Flash? Will he cross over into Arrow? You know, that's stuff that we didn't talk about yet. But obviously, since he's been cast, that is a distinct possibility. The Dark Assassin 23, welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us once again. He's over there on Twitch. What do you guys think about that? You know, seeing Superman cross over into some of the other programs, and will they retroactively make him the more important superhero, like the first superhero in the CW Arrowverse?
Okay, that's a double-edged sword, honestly, because again, Superman is the ultimate. I'm gonna have to just call him a Mary Sue. He's the ultimate character. That's just he's too good. He's too powerful. It's like every problem on every single show would be solved by him in like 10 seconds. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's not really. That's why they never have a good Superman video game. He's too powerful. So it's like, if you bring him into Arrow, who on Arrow is going to handle Superman? Let's just be real. Who out of the entire cast of villains is going to handle Superman? Legends of Tomorrow, same problem. Supergirl, he can basically take out all of her enemies because he's already established, and you know, he's already got the the experience. Flash is fast as hell, without a doubt. Still, the experience isn't there. So if you have Superman show up on all of these other shows, it's gonna just water it down to me, because then it's just like, well, let him do it. That's what it's gonna turn into, and it's not. And again, if the actor plays him really well, it's gonna really suck, because it's like, well, hold on, why could you do this so well on TV, but you had this freaking movie to come out, 2.5 hours, damn near 3, for the Blu-ray, and it's like you couldn't even get that right. So it's gonna be a weird thing for them to deal with Superman. I don't, as much as we would love to see Superman on TV, it's a real odd situation that I think they made for themselves.
Kahuna, the resident Superman fan besides myself and Josh L. What do you think they'll do with Superman weaving him into the CW universe? Do you think they'll retroactively with Flashpoint make him the most important superhero in the CW universe, or will they kind of let him stay in the background?
No, I think he'll stay in the background. I mean, like a lot of the points that GQ brought up, that's right. They would definitely have a problem with that, especially Henry Cavill. I mean, it would be blatantly showing that they screwed him over if he becomes the thing. And Flash is pretty much that's their boy right there. That's their go-to guy right there. So I don't think they're gonna bring Superman in or have him overshadow Flash. Flash is the one that brings everything together. So yeah, they're not gonna. He's gonna be in the background. He's probably not gonna even be. I'm gonna say he's probably gonna be maybe 5 episodes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be like recurring like every single episode or.
Oh no.
Yeah, he'd be overshadowing Supergirl.
Exactly. Yeah, no, they could.
Yeah, I think he'll be in a few episodes and stuff, and he'll probably have a little bit of screen time, or whatever, or maybe just the real important episodes or something like that. But I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what they're gonna do with that.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm gonna throw a shout out to Tyler Blake Evie, who's in the chat. He said, "Oh hey, this is live. Yes, we are live. So hey, what's up to you?" Also, let's see, who is this here? LGGZ says she liked Batman versus Superman, which that's a whole different thing for a whole other show. So
yeah,
we're just gonna throw that out there, though.
Let's direct her over to our YouTube, our YouTube archives. We've had so many shows covering that topic already. Go check out our old show, Live from Junkie Nation, and just type in the search Batman vs Superman. You will be entertained. I guarantee you that. So it's rounding down to the time that we have to go. What did you guys do this weekend? And is there anything newsworthy that we wanted to talk about before we get out of here concerning the weekend and things that happened? Anybody catch up on the other news from E3? Is there anything else that you guys saw that kind of piqued your interest, or was it just a flame out of a conference?
I know Waffles had posted something in the discussion group about a couple of games that kind of slipped under the radar or didn't have big press conferences about them. I'm gonna have to actually go in and see what he was talking about, because there was a couple of different games mentioned.
I think the one was Gravity Rush, right?
Gravity Rush was one of the ones that he had definitely made mention of. So I mean, again, it's E3. There's always going to be those huge announcements, but I think again it goes back to what we were saying. It's like with games becoming so expensive, it's like these companies are like they got 1 or 2 a year now. It's not the way it used to be, like where like you had the Super Nintendo and you had Capcom had 10 games being shown at E3. It's like those days are done. It's pretty much you got your 1 or 2 blockbusters coming from each company, and then that's it. And they're putting all their eggs in that basket for E3. It's just it's a whole different time. The industry has changed.
Okay. Yeah, it has, unquestionably. There's something that Hand of Omega brought up in the chat, and I think it's pretty important to bring up. He said, "Did we talk about the leak of Dawn of Justice extended version online?" No, we did not, because I did not realize it had leaked, but I'm not surprised that it has. And apparently one of the many changes is that Superman is allowed to be much more heroic. Now, that gets my attention a little bit. But do you think that news will change your opinion of the movie overall? Do you really expect the extended edition to do that thing? And we can also talk about the news that the extended the 100 gigabyte 4K version is going to be the biggest Blu-ray whatever home release ever. GQ, which version are you going to get?
Well, I'm not getting the 4K one yet because I have not acquired the TV for that just yet, or the player. When the Neo comes out, I will do both. But I don't know. As far as it making him more heroic. His heroism for me was part of what was missing. But in all honesty, if you want to make that movie better, you got to re-edit it, because Lex Luthor's plan and his performance is terrible for me, but his plan was not really fleshed out very well. It's like we should have saw trial and error in that ship. It shouldn't have just been, you know, hey, fingerprints and full access and here's all the secrets of the universe and go ahead and make a doomsday baby. It's just like, dude, like really, all within the span of like 30 minutes. I'm like, no. You got to give me a little bit of try, because it's like, dude, I don't care how smart Luthor is, Junior. He's not going to just break into a freaking alien ship and just get full access. He's not Batman. That was like that universe's Batman level stuff. That was that type of. It's like, dude, you're no. You're not even Lex Luthor proper. You're Lex Luthor Jr. So I want a little bit more explanation of as to why you got access. You got to kill the Martha scene. I'm sorry.
I think I was hearing that you're supposed to. Someone deleted stuff. Does kind of fit in on how this cat just walks into the ship and automatically knows how to do everything.
With the fingerprints of one finger on all 5 of his digits.
No.
Did he take it from every single finger?
He scraped off every finger.
Okay, all right, fine, all right.
He at least did that.
Okay.
But again, it still goes back to my thing of, it's just like, okay, they had the deleted scene with Steppenwolf that they showed the same weekend the movie came out, and it's just like, that would have been nice to have maybe early in the movies, just so you can get a little bit of, he's getting prodding and outside assistance, something other than this whole, like, you get to the end of the movie and his head is shaved and he's all, going all crazy. The guys, he's coming. It's like, dude, you didn't give us any of that. Yes, a hardcore fan knows exactly who you're talking about. Guess what? The average movie-going audience is not
a hardcore fan.
Readers.
They're not.
So, right, you're just sitting there throwing all these things in there, and it's just like,
yeah, because at the end when he's in the jail cells and he like hinting that something was coming or whatever like that, when he's doing that stupid ass ding 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 ding.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh yeah, yeah.
Like, how do you know that?
Right.
It's like we're supposed to just take your word for it, okay?
Well,
you just built a doomsday creature that damn near killed you if Superman hadn't stopped it.
Right.
So
exactly.
It's like okay.
One of the things that Hannah Omega also said that was addressed, and then we'll sign off. One of the things that they said they addressed was how they framed Superman in the desert, and I guess the way that they did that was that they burned the bodies and made it seem like he had burned them with their heat vision. Now that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, and they said that he says the whole movie flows a lot more logically with, like realistically and logically with a lot of the plot points restored. Now, I'm actually kind of really interested to see this. I mean, I was always going to see this cut anyway, but now I'm kind of like even more excited to say, okay, maybe this just really was a terrible hack job, but overall, it was just too bloated. They tried to do a little too much, so maybe they should have split it in two movies after all.
Still wondering, were they trying to go for that injustice feel? That whole post-apocalyptic nightmare scene. It had that injustice feel.
They were trying to do everything, and that was the problem. Again, I understand 100% the flow better is and everything. The only other time this has ever happened in cinematic history that I remember that a director's cut was needed to basically make a movie better was Daredevil. And that movie was still garbage. Fine. But this is Warner Brothers. This is Batman and Superman. This is not the first time that we've dealt with Batman and Superman. Warner Brothers, this is not your first rodeo.
No.
You should not need a director's cut to come out to make a movie of that magnitude better. It should have been good on its own, and we should have been clamoring for a director's cut to have even more of it, not a director's cut to explain what the hell happened this time. So I'm sorry, I'm getting it. Obviously, I buy them all, as you guys have seen my collection. But dude, this is, in my opinion, for a AAA studio like Warner Brothers, this is pretty daggone weak that you guys had to resort to a director's cut to explain your freaking movie.
Yeah. That's also pretty bad, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to buy it or not. Just because I've already given this movie enough of my money. I paid to see it 3 times with you guys, with 2 sets of my family. I'm not certain whether I'm going to actually plunk down the money to watch it a 4th time. So
I
we'll
think
see.
I'm going to get it. I mean, you know, I feel like I don't know. It's just something I feel like I gotta get, even though I want to see the unedited or whatever, the extra little 30 minutes or whatever like that. But I don't know. I feel like I just gotta have that in the collection, even though I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's
like I
the
said, I'm gonna get it for the collection. But I mean, every time I watch it, I'm gonna have to like drink a couple of cappuccinos or something to stay awake. But
And I probably won't even watch it like fully. I'm probably just gonna fast forward to certain scenes.
Yeah, just kind of just watch it in chunks. But real quick, LGZ also said that this show needs to be longer and that she wants to be on YouTube Live because she has her theories. So we will definitely make sure catch us next time for sure, and we can call in and actually bring you on the show. But yeah, we love to have interaction with people and they give their opinions and their theories and how they feel about all these different topics. So we will make sure probably when does that release? Isn't that pretty
next
soon?
month?
Like July something?
Next month.
So
Yeah.
When that comes out,
the digital version is at the end of the month, and the yeah, we know. I know GQ
Yeah, we know
doesn't
how
do
you
digital.
do. We don't do. He doesn't do digital.
But digital comes out end of the month, and then I think the DVD was like July 18th or something like that. Something like that.
It can't be the 18th because that's a Monday.
Oh well.
It's probably
somewhere.
It's in that range. So I know
in that range.
Yeah, probably the 19th or something, or maybe even the week before. So either way it goes, I will definitely have it when it comes out. Even if I'm on vacation, I'll buy it when I'm on vacation. But for a fact, we're going to do a breakdown show about that because
definitely
it'll finally put it to bed. Finally.
And you know who's going to want to be on that show? Both Eric and Josh are going to want to be here. I'm pretty sure.
Let them be on. Let them be on, and LGZ would make sure you tune in on that night that we do that, and we'll have you on the show as well.
Definitely. Well, guys, it's been great. Thank you for the discussion. Thank you for the time. We appreciate you being here. Please do subscribe to us on our YouTube channel. You can watch archives of all our past shows. If you're on Facebook, you can just go to our Facebook fan page. You're already on our Facebook fan page, but you can tap the watch the video button that's on our Facebook fan page. It'll take you right to our YouTube channel. We've got hundreds of videos up there. Please watch all of our stuff. Support us. Check out Movies with Megashawn. He does reviews pretty often, and they're pretty funny, pretty spot on. So for GQ and for Kahuna, I'm Kenshiro. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Wednesday. Excuse me. Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Say goodbye, everybody.
Hasta la pasta.
I mean, you might be here tomorrow. I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, I'm not going to be here tomorrow either. I got stuff to
right.
do. So all right.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys Wednesday.
All right. See you Wednesday, guys.